this week's IrishRacing.com stable tour, I'm here in County Meath at the yard of Gavin Cromwell. Gavin has risen through the ranks to become one of the top trainers in the country. He has a lot of stars in the yard: Flooring Porter, Darver Star, trainer of champion hurdle winners, stair hurdle winners, Royal Ascot winners. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Gavin has to say about the upcoming National Hunt season. Invictus Mashin, owned by JP McManus, a 5-year-old walk on the park horse. He was impressive at Down Royal winning his maiden hurdle.
He was. They went a ferocious gallop in it. Just be a little bit concerned that the race fell apart on the day. But nonetheless, he stayed on well, and it's nice to win on your first start. So he's a fine big horse, and he's only a 4-year-old. You'd be hoping that he'd be a nice horse for the future.
He looked green the day. You think has he learned a lot since?
Yeah, look, I suppose he certainly had to learn something from the day. And you know what, a horse that's hitting the line well, you'd always like them going forward.
Where might we see him next? Do you have any plans?
We know immediate plan. We'll probably run him in a winners of one. In maybe 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Another maiden hurdle winner. I know the way you're thinking. Another walk on the park horse. He caused a bit of an upset in Cork, beating a smart mare of Willie's. How has he come out of that?
Yeah, come out of it fine. Very green on the day, but I expect him to run a big race. Obviously, if it was a fair feat now to beat Willie's mare, she's I think maybe 95 or 6 or something rated flat horse. So it was good. It was a good performance on the day. Yeah, look, he's a nice horse going forward. So.
You train a few of his relatives as well. Is he looking like the best so far, maybe?
Yeah, he probably is. I suppose he's by the sire of the moment. He's a nice horse, so hopefully he can improve away.
Do you have a plan for him next time out?
We're looking at the Gorham Park. There's a winners of one 4-year-old only. I think it's the 26th of November. So yeah, that's the plan at the moment.
So Pat Daru, a 5-year-old coastal pat horse, he's built a big reputation for himself so far.
Yeah, won his Pint to Pint, and we bought him then, and won his Bumper and Punchestown at the festival, and was good. He won his maiden hurdle in Galway the last day. So look, it's a big step now from here up. He's in the Royal Bond, and that's probably where he's going to go. So yeah, sure, he's hopefully going the right direction, but we'll know more after the next day.
And would you be worried going into the Grade 1 how little experience he has on the track, or do you think his class will carry him through?
Absolutely. Look, it's a huge ask, but they are novices, so there's nothing with a huge amount of experience in it. And I suppose he had the point-to-point experience as well, so that should stand to him as well.
Is there any plans after the Royal Bond, or are you just looking?
No. Not certain that he's a real 2-miler. We may potentially step up and trip a bit after. But we'll give him a shot.
Le Malmaison, a 4-year-old walk in the park filly. She won her maiden hurdle well in Cork. Is she one that excites you?
She is. She's a lovely big mare, real soft ground mare. Obviously, she's going to have to step forward for the next run. She was very good in her maiden, but the next day will tell a lot as well.
She's well bred. She's a half sister to Stage Star for Paul Nichols. Is she one you think will improve with every run, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's going to be a lovely chasing mare in time. Obviously, she's only a 4-year-old, so hopefully the future is bright. Please God. She jumps very well and jumps the fence very well. We were going to point her, but yeah. So she's one that she's out of a very good mare as well. Sparky May, who was a graded winner as well. So. Hopefully she goes the right direction.
Law Ella, 5-year-old Yates mare, she probably bumped into a few good horses at Gordon's recently.
Absolutely, particularly in Fairyhouse the other day. She ran a good solid race, but Gordon's mare was just too good for her on the day. I think Gordon's mare properly relished the testing going. This mare got through it, but she just might be a little bit better on better ground. So.
She showed a lot of quality last year. She was second in the Grade 2 Aintree Bumper.
Yeah.
We're maybe yet to see the best of her over her.
Yeah, I think she could shape into a good mare. We're not panicking yet.
Any plan for her next time out?
She'll go back for a maiden hurdle, not sure where. She had a hard enough race the other day on it was very testing ground on the inside track in Fairyhouse. So we'll take our time anyway.
Let's be clear about it out here, enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah.
He ran a great race behind American Mike at Down Royal. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, I was. He'd been off the track for a year and a half. September last year he cracked his pelvis and missed all of last year. But he's a lovely horse with he's a big engine. His form is very good, and he won 3 bumpers, and hopefully we can keep him right, and he's a nice future.
When you look through his form, you'd have to say it takes a very good horse to beat him. What kind of targets might you set for him this year?
Well, it's it'll be very much one step at a time, but hopefully he could make into an Albert Bartlett horse. He stays really well, so that's the long-term plan. If you just don't like making too many plans when the horse has had issues, but touch wood now, he's been good.
Star of the year, Darver Star. He never really looked himself over fences, but he's rejuvenated over hurdles now.
Yeah, he had a mixed time of it over fences. He almost won a Grade 1 at Christmas a couple of years ago, and he gave it his all that day now, and it took him an awful long time to recover after it. But anyway, listen, we're back over hurdles with him, and he's won his last 3, and he's going to have a big test the next day now, taking on Honeysuckle. But hopefully he'll make some kind of a race of it for her.
When he won his first race in Wexford off 106, did you think he was going to improve this much?
No, I suppose a little bit like Florian Porter winning off 95, but you never know that. But it's great. You never know when they can improve, and when they start improving, they can keep doing it.
And his owners they're lucky men anyway. I think, did they win the lotto? Is that the story behind it?
One of the lads did, yeah, absolutely. And
they won it twice with this fella, maybe.
The other 2 lads drafted Simon in because they said he was lucky, and I think they were right.
The plan is Hatton's Grace next.
Hatton's Grace take on Honeysuckle, yeah. He was a half a length behind Honeysuckle back in Novel's company, and hopefully he can make a race of it. And
long term, would he have another crack at the champion hurdle maybe, or do you have anything else in plan for him?
No, I'd say he probably wants 2.5 or 2.5 plus nowadays. So at the moment, it's just a Hatton's Grace is the plan, and we'll see where we go after that.
Sweet Will, he was impressive at Cheltenham, winning under Kieran Buckley in the conditionals race.
Yeah, he won on the Tuesday in Fairyhouse, and loaded him up and sent him to Cheltenham, and he won on a Friday, which was, I suppose that's a feat in itself. Kieran was very good on him on the day, and it was nice for the lads to win in Cheltenham.
He's a tough horse, so being able to take that turnaround so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big ask, and we weren't really sure, but came off anyway.
He's up 8 pounds for that one, I think. Do you think he can keep improving way up in the grades?
Yeah, thankfully his chase mark is a bit lower, so hopefully he can win. He's a better chance of winning over fences, I suppose, than over hurdles. But hopefully there's another day.
So is the plan to find a chase for him next, maybe?
I'd say potentially, yeah. Well, look, he's after having 2 quick runs there, so we're not in a hurry to do anything. We'll find something for him there in 3 or 4 weeks' time.
My mate Mozzie, he's gone away in a break at the moment.
Yeah, just going to go for a short break for probably 3 or 4 weeks. He's been the most unlucky horse not to win a big race. Just feel sorry for the horse really, and no fault of his own, and just a little bit of bad luck here and there. But hopefully there is a big day in him.
He's been mixing on the flat lately as well, running some big races in flat handicaps. Is the plan to go back over obstacles now when he comes back?
Yeah, he's. I suppose we might try in the spring. We might try, a handicap hurdle somewhere, maybe a Grade B handicap somewhere. And he always has the option of going chasing as well. He won a point, and he jumps very well. So I know the ground was heavy the last day in the November handicap, but off a very light weight, it's a little bit different than lugging around 11.7 or 11.10. And So we'll just give him a little break now for the moment. But he certainly does appreciate nice ground too.
He won his point to point for Mags Mullins. Obviously, you're keeping chasing in mind maybe for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, still a young horse, and as I said, he jumps well. So that's definitely on the cards at some stage. What a boy. Oh, the fella. You want to say hello? That's the man.
Flooring Porter, probably the yard star. He's been a dream for his syndicate. I think they bought him off a Facebook ad, was that right?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, it's a real rags to riches story. And he started off at the very bottom and sure 1-2 stairs hurdles. Sure, it's unbelievable, really.
And he's a bit of a character on the track. Is he the same at home? Is he a bit of a handful?
He is, but not so much now, because we know he has his routine and we know how to manage him a lot better now. But he's good, and he's grown up a lot now as well. So even in his run in the Lismullen hurdle, he did everything right, and he behaved himself well. So I suppose the other side of it is you don't want to take all the madness away from him either. I suppose that adds to him as well.
And that one in the Lismullen Fort, were you happy with that?
Yeah, I was. Look, you'd love to be winning it, but he'll come on a ton for the race. He was giving away £9 to everything in front of him, and it's only 2.5 miles. You know, he wants 3 miles. So, yeah, look, he'll come on a lot for fitness, and hopefully we'll see different horse at Christmas in Leopardstown.
And Danny Mullins has a great partnership with him. They're probably both a bit mad. They get on pretty well.
Yeah, it definitely works. So, yeah.
Is Leopardstown the plan next?
Definitely, yeah. The grade 1 at Leopardstown. We'll do the same route as last year. Leopardstown straight to Cheltenham.
And he's obviously the one to beat come Cheltenham time on a hat-trick of wins. Are you confident he can go back and put in a good performance again?
Look, I'm not confident. I'm hopeful, but we're very happy with him. He's in great health form and great nick and looks great. And you know, we're relatively happy with the run the other day. So hopefully, if he can build on that, he's the one they have to beat.
Brideshill 5-year-old Dylan Thomas mare. She was a good novice over hurdles. She looked a nasty fall in Fairy House last time. How is she since?
Yeah, she's been okay. She got a nasty cut, and she missed quite a bit of time, but she's back. She's back riding out and back schooling. Yeah, she got a horrible fall, got a horrible fright. So yeah, we're back schooling with her, and we'll find something for her in a few weeks. But yeah, she was a nice. She picked up a bit of black type and as over hurdles. So if we can get her jumping together, hopefully she'll make a nice chasing mare.
And she's still a young horse, so there's probably plenty of improvement left in her.
I think there is. Yeah. We'll take our time and hopefully she's a better experience the next day.
She's warming up to you there. Place, a full sister to I Know the Way You're Thinking. She ran last time behind Hollow Games. Were you happy with that? Debuted over fences?
Yeah, it was for her first run over fences. She jumped well. She's a fine big mare, so hopefully she has a future over fences. And again, by the sire of the moment, walking the park. So she's a nice mare.
You've trained all of her damned runners. It must be a family you really like.
Well, absolutely, yeah. So hopefully the best are to come.
And a girl, Malinas mare. She ran a good race in Cheltenham last time off a higher mark in England. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, it was. It was a good solid run. Only beaten 2.5 lengths. Yeah, she's been a good servant now. She's only a young mare, and she's won her bumper, maiden hurdle, and a beginner's chase. And yeah, she's not over big, but she wears her heart in her sleeve, and she's a good, genuine sort of a mare. So hopefully there's another day in her.
Will we see her out again soon?
We'll give her a few weeks, but yeah, she's going to stay going for a while anyway. I wouldn't be just running her on completely bottomless ground, but we'll find something for her in a few weeks.
Brian Lauder's here getting shot. Gavin, you might be giving him a few pointers, would you?
No. Brian Lauder, he's declared for Sunday for the Florida Pearl Chase in Punchestown, grade 2. So it looks a big step from handicap company into this. So, but he's been a great servant. He's a good real good jumper. So we'll know more after the weekend.
He's on a hat-trick of wins. He's really enjoying his racing this year.
Absolutely, very game and kept improving away, and hopefully he can keep improving.
Alpha mixed. He's been a bit unlucky so far over fences not to get his head in front yet.
Yeah, he's been disappointing really, to be honest. He's threatened to win a heap of times and just not gone through with it, or for whatever reason. But look, he's one that could potentially, there could be a good day in him too. So he's back off a break, and hopefully he'll show up in one of those nice handicaps.
He's been kind of always tipping around up there, kind of in the first 3 or 4 of those big handicaps. Do you think there's maybe one in him on a big day?
Yeah. But look, he just he keeps getting beat, but hopefully he'll pop up someday.
And do you have any plan for him next time out?
No immediate plan, I suppose. Possibly maybe a Paddy Power, but no immediate plan.
Vanillier, you ran a good race in Down Royal on the back of a kissing spine surgery last time. Are you happy with that?
I was. His jumping was good, that was what we really wanted to find out about his jumping, and yeah, it was much improved. So so look, I suppose that was going to tell the tale of whether we were going to stay chasing or go back hurdling, but it definitely was much better. So we'll stay at it.
He is a Grade 1 winner over hurdles. He hasn't quite reached that heights over fences yet. Do you think maybe the best is yet to come from him?
Hopefully, he's a young horse, and he stays really well, and I think there potentially is a good day in him. He's entered in the John Dorkin, well, that'll be a massive step. So look, we'll see how the season progresses.
So no immediate plans today?
The John Dorkin is the plan at the moment. We're aiming towards that, and he's potentially could be one of for one of the nationals in the spring, whether it is the Irish national or English national or even the Welsh national at Christmas. So they're all on mind.
Jeremy's Flame, she finally got her head in front in graded company last time out. She deserved that one.
Absolutely, delighted with that, because she really deserved it. She's been a little bit unlucky that she hadn't up to now. And she was probably, she was lucky on the day, but at the same time I don't think she was definitely beat. Luke thought she probably would have won, so I don't know, but she's won anyway.
She might be one for the Mayor's Chase at Cheltenham now on the back of that?
Yeah, it was always in my head. She's a very good mare to jump, likes a bit of nice-ish ground, wouldn't want it too heavy, so yeah, and she's loads of experience, so we'll certainly be aiming that direction.
I like the way you're thinking. Another one you train out of Sway. He's a 135 weighted chaser, a familiar name in big handicaps. Does he have maybe a big handicap in him?
You'd be hoping so. He's threatened a few times. Probably not as good a chaser as he is over hurdles. Just inclined to miss one or two over fences. But hopefully there's a nice handicap in him somewhere. He was probably a little bit unlucky to bump into one in Aintree, in a good hurdle there. So he's back off. He had a bit of a break, and hopefully we'll get him going there in about a month's time.
Any target from him in particular, or?
Nothing in particular now. We'll have a look at the calendar now shortly.
Anything? You bought him in the Cheltenham sale earlier this month?
Yeah, he won his point in Loch Brickland. Heavy ground on the day, and looked a good performance. So hopefully he's going to work out.
And has he shown? Obviously, you don't have him very long. Is he showing promise so far?
Listen, we're just letting him settle in, but he's a grand horse. He's a nice mover and seems to have a nice attitude. So he's clear-winded. So time will tell. We'll give him a bit of time, and I suppose we'll see where we go. Potentially go for a bumper with him.
A promising young horse, Bioluminescence, 4-year-old walk in the park. Can you tell me a bit about the name behind this one?
Yeah, my daughter Sophie named her. Bioluminescence is in a book she was reading. It's glowworms that light up on the water. She's a lovely mare. Stay and chase her. Jumps really well. She's going to go for a pint in a couple of weeks. But she goes very well and she jumps well. And yeah, we like her.
So one to watch for the future, maybe.
I think so, yeah, definitely. And again, by walking the park, I suppose that adds to it.
That won't do any harm.
No.
So Gavin, you kept yourself busy all summer with a busy flat campaign, but it's always an exciting time of the year heading into the national hunt season.
Yeah, I suppose, and it's nice that the flat ones are finished up, and just gives us a little bit of breathing space as well, because we're trying to do both. It's very busy, and there's not as much racing now as well, so it gives us a little bit more of a chance.
The yard's obviously evolved an awful lot since you first started training here. Can you tell me a bit about the facilities that you use?
Yeah, so look, we started out at a 2.5 furlong circle sand gallop, and only a couple of years ago, actually just during the lockdown, we put in a second gallop, and it's 3.5 furlongs around it, and we've schooling strip and a schooling ring, and all the usual walkers and whatever else.
So you trained as a farrier for a long time. Horses were obviously always the plan, but did you ever see yourself maybe becoming one of the top trainers in Ireland?
No, definitely not. I started out training with 8 stables just as a hobby, and it just kept evolving, I suppose. And here we are now.
And even before the farriery, how did you first get involved in horses? Was it a family thing?
Yeah, sure. Look, there was an interest from both my parents, both sides. My uncle Jerry trained race horses, and my grandfather, my mother's father, trained pointers. So there was always horses both sides of the family, and into the hunting myself. And yeah, sure, the usual, wanted to be a jockey and failed at that. So farrier dragged me in.
And I suppose it gave you great experience. You got to see the ins and outs of a lot of different yards being the farrier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get to pick up the good points and bad points in a lot of places, I suppose, and that's no harm.
I actually read an interview from a few years ago. You said you wouldn't give up the shoeing no matter how big you got as a trainer. Do you still find time to shoe a few of your own?
Oh, very little now. Stuck on a shoe there a couple of days ago, and just don't have time really. To be honest, I don't miss it a whole pile now. It was hard work. Certainly, your money is well earned.
It's something that's often said that the small man can't compete in Ireland with the bigger yards, but you really made the breakthrough from part-time trainer to one of the biggest yards in the country. Was it a case of just getting the right horses, or how do you think you made that transition?
I don't know really. Just keep driving it forward, I suppose, and trying to find owners and trying to, buying horses. And I was never afraid to buy horses on spec and put myself under pressure to get them sold. And thankfully, it's worked out.
I suppose Jar's girl was a big help in that initial breakthrough when JP bought her and kept her in the yard. It must have been a great vote of confidence.
Absolutely. That's JP is fantastic like that. I suppose we were very lucky to, he only owned her a few days, and I won my first Grade 1, and to first runner for JP to be a Grade 1 winner was fantastic. And and then he left her with us, and she won a Grade 1 again at Punchestown. So that was a great relationship to have, and subsequently get the Espardallen to win a champion hurdle from it. So yes, been fantastic.
Espardallen was a devastating champion hurdle winner as a novice. It must have been a massive loss for both you and your staff when you sadly lost him.
Absolutely, and a huge loss for everybody, and JP and Noreen and all the McManus family, it was terrible.
Having good lads around the yard is key to any successful operation. I can see you around here this morning. You're all kept fierce busy. Your staff, obviously, Kieran Buckley came over from England this year to work with you. How did that connection come about?
Yeah, so a little bit accidentally, really, I suppose. We were looking to claim off my mate Mozzie in the county hurdle, and Kieran Buckley was recommended to me, and he gave the horse a lovely ride on the day, and I thought he was a real nice fella, and I approached him and asked him was he interested in coming to Ireland. So yeah, he didn't think too long about it, and he came across. So it's working out well for him.
Building those connections is always so important in every part of racing, I suppose. You have a lot of syndicate owners. Does that give you a real kick when you get the winners for those kind of owners? Because I think everyone enjoys the celebrations of Flooring Porter, and you have a lot more as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thing with syndicates, it's great on the day they win is good, but it can be hard enough to manage when the days are not so good. But that's all part of the job, and it's good.
We got a good look at some of your exciting younger horses coming through. Walk in the Park seems to be very prominent in the yard. Would the sire be an important aspect when you're buying a horse, or what other kind of things do you look at?
Look at, if you're buying on a budget, you'd have to go for. I found that you'd have to go for the lesser ones. I'd always try and buy a nice individual rather than a pedigree, and there's some sires there I wouldn't like, and I just wouldn't go near. But generally, I keep a very open mind.
I suppose being a farrier, you probably have a good idea of conformation, and spotting a horse who's good to walk and all those kind of things probably helped you a lot.
Yeah, I always try and buy my own horses anyway, so plenty of experience of looking at them, and yeah, so thankfully it's worked out. We've bought some, cheap ones along the way, and they've worked out well. And I suppose Flooring Porter is a prime example.
Yeah, one of those cheap ones who give you a two-time Stayers Hurdle winner. You've had a lot of big winners: Champion Hurdle, Stayers Hurdle. You won at Royal Ascot in your first go. Is there any race maybe that you'd really love to bring back here to County Meath?
I suppose one of the big nationals would be nice. I know we've won the Welsh National, but yeah, definitely you'd have to think about maybe an Irish or an English National would be nice.
Vanillier maybe next year.
You never know.
Best of luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Cheers.